Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're reviewing the 2025 GMC Yukon AT4 XL. This is a really cool vehicle. Before we get into this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Provo GMC for giving me some time with this Yukon. I'll include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check what they have currently. Also include a link to my car buying guide as well. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a 6.2 liter V8 that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 14 around town and then 18 on the highway, with power outputs being 420 horsepower and then 460 pound-feet of torque. Before I move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. Now, taking a look at the hood, you guys can see how it's kind of raised there on either side, and then I really like the C shape here with the headlights. The new design's very interesting, that is for sure. And then the AT4 gets its kind of like own special coloration here on the grille, AT4 logo. And then of course you got the recovery points here, and the front end just looks super aggressive. Notice this is all painted black, by the way. You do have the fog lights there on either side on top of that. But I think this new front end looks really good with the AT4. It works. Now around the side here, our tire wheel setup is 275 by 60 by 20 in the front and over in the rear. And you can see here with the wheels, you've got the silver with the blacked out trim all-terrain tires as well. And then you can see here with the GMC logo, got the AT4 badge down below. And then we've got the power side steps with this one. And this is an XL, so it's the longer version. And then this leads us to the key fob. We've got our lock and unlock function, which there's better visibility of that. We have the opening for the hatch and then also just for the window. Of course, we'll pop open that hatch. And XL, I think this is probably going to become more popular in the future just because people like being able to have all the seats folded up and still have storage versus the regular Yukon kind of ends like right here with the storage. And by the way, you do have more underneath as well. But yeah, it's just really practical in the rear. And then you can see here with the seats to fold them down. With the third row, you can raise and lower them automatically. You've got an outlet here in the back on top of that, but yeah, good storage overall. And almost forgot, we've got a little button there to open and close the hatch. And look at the taillights with that cool C shape. It's kind of cool how it dials through. AT4, you've got Yukon there, and then you can see with the squared off exhaust tips. And it's the rest of the rear. And this leads us inside. So we've got soft touch trim here all across. I like the stitching there at the top too, and then this is cool down below. And then you've got kind of like a grayish, maybe it's more of a green, it's kind of hard to tell. It's like gray, but then it also has like a bluish or kind of greenish hue to it. I'm also probably colorblind, so that doesn't help out. Anyways, that color continues on the seats. I'll see, actually the window sticker doesn't have the color on it, I don't think, with this one, but I like this. It looks cool, it looks really good. Now we're gonna just pull this down. So you guys can see the third row. You got that same cool coloration on these seats. Tons of space there with the legroom. Again, you can very comfortably fit adults in the back, which is great. And then you can do this all with one hand to get this back up. You do have to use a little bit of muscle, but it's not bad. Getting in's easy with the side step. And then you got the grab handle here, and then I think it's that, or whatever. Anyways, it's good. We got a little storage pocket. We've got some vents here in the rear. You can see we've got our own climate zone heated seats as well. And then headroom back here is good despite the sunroof. And then popping up front, you can see more of the same here, the trim. And hopefully you guys can see what I'm saying. Like, this is black up top, and that is just slightly different. We've got all of our memory seat function right there. Window controls, mirrors do power fold in. They also have blind spot monitoring. And then you can see here, 7,800 pounds, or 7,300 pounds, sorry, 73 of towing, 1465. AT4 in the headrest. Nice trim all down the center. All of our adjustments there on the side. We've got our parking brake here. It's for the 360 camera. Stability control, hill descent, parking sensors, auto stop start, parking assist, and then lane departure. And then we've got our drive line select here. 2-speed transfer case with this. We also have the light controls, and then the steering wheel is power adjustable with this model. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, you can see soft touch all around. You've got this kind of like gray trim there. Radio controls in the back of the steering wheel. We also have paddle shifters as well. And then a bunch of practical controls in the front, including for the heated steering wheel. This is for the center screen, for example. We've got our cruise controls there as well. And then you can see turn signal, windshield wiper stalk, column shifter here for the 10-speed. And then digital gauge cluster in the center, which I really like because, look at this. You can do map view, cruise control view. You've got like the RPMs for the gauge cluster. It's just really cool. You can basically display what information you want to see. And then this does have a 360 camera system. GM does a good job. Now, one thing I will say, it's a little bit of a downside about this new infotainment system being more of a vertical layout, is they couldn't do like a bigger camera view, but it's wide enough that I don't have any complaints with it. Just something to note. You do have the shortcut tab there at the top, and yeah, it's just basically a giant tablet. It does integrate some stuff that's, I guess, necessary. We could say like the seat controls, for example. You do have heated and ventilated seats. You've got your dual zone climate controls, volume control here as well. So yeah, the screen integrates quite a bit. And it does have some physical tabs here at the bottom, but you'll notice that they're attached to a little screen function there. So that's kind of a little bit different. And I think the drive modes show up, yeah, they show up here on the screen. So you can see you've got a normal, sport, off-road, tow haul mode that you can switch between. Wireless phone charging pad, and regular USB, which is coming in clutch because my GoPro battery, for some reason, doesn't want to live anymore. We've got some cup holders here. Let's give it up on life. More storage, AT4 there in the center. Nice trim on the top in general. Center console. And see stitching and everything. I like this. It's nice. And then more soft touch here. And we've got the camera rear view mirror, and then we do have a panoramic sunroof. Let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's visibility of the hood, both the mirrors, the rest of the rear, and let us set off in the Yukon XL AT4. It's cool that they allow you, or sure not allow you, but rather they make the, ooh, they've got more, they've got so many of these. Man, I wonder if people are, I've noticed a lot of Tahoe trade-ins. I wonder if people are switching from Chevy to GMC even though they're the same. Anyways, as I was saying, it's cool they give you the off-road package with the longer version. Like, that's really, really cool. Okay, well, sorry that you guys are gonna have to look at my ugly face for the rest of the review. I'm having major technical difficulties with the GoPro. I've never had issues with this GoPro. I've had it for quite some time, but I'll probably have to get a new one, but we'll have to make do with what we have here. So just want to give you guys the driving impression here with the Yukon XL AT4. And basically, really, why is this person stopped in the middle of the road? This Wrangler's just stopped here. And there's no stop sign, they're just stopped in the middle of the road. Anyways, suspension's really comfortable, and what are you doing? I don't know. People are so weird. Suspension's really comfortable, and the engine's really strong. The 6.2 V8 does a great job, and I'm gonna get you guys like a, here, we'll just hold the camera like this. Hopefully this will suffice. Again, this is not going to be like a norm on the channel. This is just technical difficulties. The GoPro went from 30% when I started filming. Again, it had no battery, then started filming 30%, and then within 2 seconds it went down to 3%. So anyways, strong acceleration with the 6.2 V8 here, and the steering's nice. They've done a good job with that whole setup. It's got good power. I mean, I'd say it's got good power. Again, I still want to test out the new diesel on this. I'm very, very intrigued as to how the new diesel is going to perform in the AT4 here. But yeah, in terms of the driving, the suspension's comfortable. The XL gives you the longer back area, so you get more space back there, which is super helpful if you ask me. And again, the steering's it's easy. I mean, I'm doing this all with one hand, so I think that should show you guys how easy this is to drive. Even though it's a big vehicle, it's very, very easy to maneuver. And so yeah, I think they did a good job with this new Yukon AT4. It'll be interesting to see what this is like with the diesel. And then I think they're also doing what is AT4 with the Ultimate package. That'll be another interesting one to see, because that'll be kind of like an off-road Escalade in a way with all the features that it has. So sorry about the technical difficulties. I'm gonna have to figure out I have to film like 4 or 5 cars today, and so I have to figure out how to get that done without having reliable use of the GoPro. This will be fun to figure out. Anyways, see you guys.